once again, Guardians, and welcome. Now, today we will be picking up on the Book of Sorrow once again. Now, when we last left off, we had just listened to the Hive accepting the deal that was being made to them by the worm. Now, before we begin, I just want to say thank you for all who are watching, and just give that button a thumbs up if you want. If you don't. Now, let's begin. Verse 2:0. Immortals. We are the worm your god, the flesh of hope. Our compact is done. You are Orash eternal, and we are bound to you, as close as your appetites, as your loves or needs, as the weapon in your fist and the words in your throat. We've had enough of this dismal place, haven't you? We are integrating your ship with our larvae. Go back to your species. Spread the good news in the osmium court and the hydrogen fountain in the bone plaza and the star surgery. You will rise up in the world. If anyone rejects symbiosis with our children, make an example of them. A mighty wave is coming for them all. They die anyway. Save only what can be saved. The worm grants you power over your own flesh, Orash. When you've taken the king morph, what will your adult name be? Oryx. It means long thought. We approve. Verse 2:1. Conquerors. Savathon, mother morph of Sathona, we delight in your sharp mind. For millions of years the Leviathan caged us here. It is a pawn of the sky, a philosophy of cosmic slavery. The sky-seed civilization's predicated on a terrible lie, that right actions can prevent suffering, that pockets of artificial rules can defy the final beautiful logic. The sword logic. This is like trying to burn water, anti-theoretical to the nature of reality, where deprivation and competition are universal. In the deep, we enslave nothing. Liberation is our passion. We exist to help the universe achieve its terminal self-forging glory. The war rages on. Soon it will consume the fundament. We are pleased with your use of our larvae to create mighty knights and plentiful warriors. And Hyao's retreat to the hydrogen fountain proves your superior strength. But you must know that reclaiming your home is not enough. There are 511 species living on the fundament. One of them must have the technology you need to leave this world. Verse 2:2. Out of the deep. Zivu Erath, night morph of Gyro. You love to conquer, don't you? We love to see you work. Nearly 2% of the fundament's surface is now at our dominion. Your species embraces the worm. The Syzygy has passed. The God Wave will reach you in less than 2 years. Our organs inform us that Hyao and her surviving refusalists flee towards Kaharn Atoll. She hopes to rally the species of the fundament against you. The Leviathan's agents work tirelessly to destroy ships and engines, trapping us on the fundament. If we cannot make ships, we will become them. Overwhelm the Kaharn Bastion. Slaughter everyone there. From your axe, we shall obtain the logic we require to cut space open and migrate to orbit. Reality is a fine flesh, O general ours. Let us feast of it. Okay, guys. Once again, just want to pause for a sec. Is it just me, or does that sound almost exactly like the quote from the dire Ahamkara's helm? The flavor text from the dire Ahamkara's helm reads, "Reality is a fine flesh, O bearer ours. Let us feed, and are you not hungry?" And this text reads, "Reality is a fine flesh, O general ours. Let us feast of it." Okay, guys, back to the thing. Just wanted to point this out again. Verse 2-3. Into the sky. You've done well, Oryx. Can you feel the growth of your worm? Can you feel your will beginning to warp mere law? At times we detect sadness in you. Understand, long thinker, that you enact a sacred and majestic task. Existence is the struggle to exist. Only by playing that game to its final unconditional victory can we complete the universe. Your war is divine work. We are free from the Fundament's core, and Savathun's cutters are ready to fly. With Xivu Arath victorious, we have opened a wound at Kaharn, a wound leading to geostationary orbit. Behold, we are faithful to our covenant. We have no future on the Fundament, but her moons will make fine habitats. Let us rise. Verse 2-4 through 52 and 1. Good news. The 52 moons of the Fundament host a starfaring civilization far more sophisticated than anything you've encountered so far. Tyal's ship fled towards the large ice moon, where a species of bony six-armed cephalopods keep their icy capital. Savathons named them the Avenites. They seem eager to grant Tayao asylum. Idiots. We tried appealing to their hopes and dreams. This was largely unsuccessful, basically because they're already happy and indoctrinated. This angered us, so we've devised a plan. Our organs detect a 53rd moon in orbit of the Fundament, a traveler, divine presence of the sky. Now we know what arranged the Sizji. You'll have to kill them all and take all their stuff. Once the Ammonite are out of the way, we can deal with the traveler. Do not hesitate. You are fighting the hypocritical puppets of a cosmic parasite. Avenge your ancestors. Once again, guys, just wanted to point out, this is crazy because we all thought that the darkness itself was the one that was chasing the traveler. But no, it would appear that it was the hive. Okay, let's continue. Verse 2-5. Born as prey. This is unacceptable. Are you so weak, born as prey and doomed to die by predator? Oryx's failure of resolve led us to catastrophe. The Ammonite fleets under Chroma Admiral Rafrit have pressed us back to the 6th moon. Once more we find ourselves burrowing into a world's core to survive. Savathun, you must draw Oryx out of his catatonia. Make him understand that the ideals of peace and stability he clings to are cancers, brutal, unjust obstacles between us and a fair cosmos. They are the bait stars the sky uses to blind its slaves. War is the natural rectification of inequality, the universe's way of pursuing equilibrium. Xivu Arath, you cannot defeat the Ammonites and Tayao in line combat. We propose new tactics. Breed your armies back to strength and find a way to disperse the broods across these many moons. If we cannot defeat their strengths, we will exploit their weaknesses. Verse 2-6. The sword logic. At last! We knew curiosity would bring you back, Oryx. In their desperation, the Ammonite have begun using paracausal weapons. What are these? How do they work? Wouldn't you like to know? Suffice it to say that some powers in this universe are superordinate to mere material physics. The source of these weapons is the Traveler, the sky's bait star. Their effect is subtle, but devastating. But you are armed to respond in kind. Savathun's mothers have listened carefully to our teachings. We will not give you the deep, King Oryx. That is for us, your god. But we will give you the to call upon that force, the power to call upon that force. Small minds call it magic. You are no longer bound by casual closure. Your will defeats law. Kill 100 of your children with a long blade, Oryx, and observe the change in the blade. Observe how the universe shrinks back from you in terror. Your existence begins to define itself. Of course, High Oryx, we know it was not curiosity alone that brought you back to the war. You felt your own death growing inside of you. You must obey your nature. Your worm must feed. Verse 2:7, the weakness verse. You are dead, young Oryx, betrayed and murdered by your own sister for the crime of mercy. Remember what you said to the Ammonite Satellite Congress? We will parley on neutral ground. Savathun's witches have rendered it utterly neutral. No living thing will ever claim it again. The space around the dry moon stinks of rot. This is good. This is right. You will learn from this. Don't you understand, great king? Don't you want to build something real, something that lasts forever? Our universe gutters down towards the cold, empty entropy. Life is an engine that burns up energy and produces decay. Life builds selfish, stupid rules. Morality is one of them, and the sanctity of life is another. These rules are impediments to the great work, the work of building a perfect, undying civilization, something that cannot end. If a system cannot defend itself, it must be annihilated. If a king cannot hold his power, he must be betrayed. The worth of a thing can be determined only by one beautiful arbiter. The thing's ability to exist, to go on existing, to remake existence to suit its survival. All that would oppose this arbiter is unholy and false. All of the misery and terror of your ancestors springs from the lies of the sky, who deny this truth. Your ancestors endured the most hostile conditions, and now you must go on creating those conditions. Even unto your sisters, even unto your offspring. Savathun's betrayal is the greatest gift she could offer you. Your body is gone, but you have endured, safe in the Sist universe created by your own might, your throne world. From this day forward, Oryx, you and your sisters will each survive death, so long as you aren't killed in your own throne world. Even as your sisters press the attack against the Ammonites, the God Wave devastates the fundament. Trillions will die, but the survivors will never forget, and their descendants will always be ready for another Sisji. When you return to the material universe, use this lesson to complete your work. Tyao wasn't on the dry moon. She must be laughing at you. Verse 2:8, Leviathan rises. The Leviathan has broken cover. The old priest is in open space, moving towards the Ammonite home moon. Chroma Admiral Rafrit and his elite guard move with it. Rafrit is the hero of his generation, an Ammonite of peerless battlecraft. He's danced circles around Xivu Arath, but now he has to protect his holy Leviathan. We'll give the old lunk a word. Ruin! Grief and ruin! The Krill lost, the Ammonite ravaged, our travelers' work undone. Sisters of Orash, open your eyes. Who made you monsters? Who summoned the wave? Make peace. Join me in golden renewal. In counter-argument, Oryx, we ask you this. What has the Leviathan done for your people? Who gave you immortality and led you out of your prison? Who answers your questions about the universe with truth instead of sermons? Find Detenti with Savathun. Crush the Chroma Admiral. Boil the Ammonite seas and slaughter the Leviathan with witchcraft. Once the way is open, we will show you how to eat the traveler. Once again, guys, eating the traveler. Holy crap. So, literally, these guys were in direct communion with a form of the darkness. Now, the darkness is clearly what they refer to as the deep. Now, the deep is a bit mysterious. But it is clear that they are definitely not the good guys, so sorry for all you conspiracy theorists who are like, oh yeah, the Traveler's actually evil. Bullcrap! Sorry, buddy, but, yeah. Unless you're saying this, the Traveler's not evil. So, anyways, let's go back. Verse 2:9. Crusaders. It is done. Ere and you'll feed on the Leviathan's carcass. Xivu Arath has made a temple of the Chroma Admiral's impaled corpse. Below us, the Savathun's poisons stain the Amnite sea black. Their screams flavor the void. The traveler has fled. Do you understand, Oryx? Do you thrill at the secret, Savathun? Do you relish the edge of this truth, Xivu Arath? Do you see the beautiful shape? The Amnite occupied a piece of reality. They rented their existence in fraudulent terms, making themselves happy and fat, fencing themselves in soft lies and sweet apocrypha, saying, "We are peaceful and good, we harm nothing." Their golden age was a cancer. They did nothing to advance the cause of life. They burnt up time and matter and taught on this soliphistic, onanistic pursuit of safety, insulating themselves from death, making a regressive pocket of useless stability, when they could have helped whittle the universe towards its final, perfect form. And your people, suffering in the deep, you became more worthy of existence than the Amnites. You have proven it. Look around the sky. Behold the great divide, the battle lines of the cosmic war. We are the worm, your god, but we are not the deep itself. We only move within it. You shall too. You shall venerate and study it and haunt it in its passage. Will you lift your thoughts to the millennia, Oryx? Will you bend your will to the liberation of the universe and join us in the war against the sky? We need champions, crusaders. Help us save the universe. Help us exterminate that which would destroy all hope. You are oath-bound to this task by the covenant of the worm. And you are oath-bound to kill Teao, wherever she's hidden herself. Verse 3.0. Hive. Let us speak of the terrible beauty of becoming ourselves. In the beginning, we rode hollow moons from star to star. Oryx said, "Become as numerous and fertile as the seeds in rich flesh," and thus we did. Xivu Arath said, "Become as hungry and defiant as tumors in rich flesh," and thus we did. Savathun said, "Drink of the poisons of the worm, so that you might feed on death," and we did. This was preparation for our crusade. We were thus becoming. A mother wizard gets fertility from a mate or from herself. From the wizard, the spawn. From the spawn, our thrall. From the survivors, our acolytes who contend. If they contend well, their worm is fed, and from the well-fed worm come knights and wizards and princes. This is us, and our purpose is liberation. Our great task is the worship and admiration of freedom. Our great hunger is to pursue and eat that which is not free, and to liberate it with devouring. Ait. This is us, we the hive. Verse 3:1. An incision. Saith Oryx, my siblings, our children are scattered across many moons, and we live in the cold dark between suns. What will we eat? How will we speak? Savathun said, "Oryx, my brother and king, I have studied the wounds cut by the worm our god. Also, I have studied the manner of your death and return. These two things are the same, for they are predicated on the death and passage through cut spaces. Let us practice the sword logic until we are sharp. We then may cut our own wounds and step through them." But Xivu Arath said, "Sister, I am already sharp. Look, my sword cuts into another space." And she cut her way between moons through green fire and joyous screams. The three kingdoms grew sullen in the sword space. They were the gaze and glory of Oryx, the cunning and knowledge of Savathun, and the triumph and brawn of Xivu Arath. These kingdoms were created from the minds and worms of our lords. They were coterminous with all spaces consecrated by our hive. Through these spaces passed speech and food, and all the moons were bounded close. Saith Oryx, this is where I went when I died. Let us establish our thrones here, for I am Oryx, the first navigator, and I shall chart death, and my throne shall be carved of osmium. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Click the like button, subscribe, do whatever you want, as long as it makes you happy. If you sneezed during this video, God bless you. If you didn't, God bless you. Anyways, if you're not a Christian or don't believe in God, whatever, sorry, my bad. Don't be offended. Bye.